Kyle Hunter here for bangthebook.com. Welcome in, everybody. It is March Madness time. I love this week. As a fan, sports fan, I believe this is my favorite week of the season. Really busy week as a handicapper, no doubt about that. So let's get right into it here for this week. Sweet 16 props. I did a futures video. If you haven't checked that one out already, you can check that one out. Talked about futures and odds to win it all. Now we're going to talk about some Sweet 16 props. And, as I started looking at the props, I found a couple others I like. So we're going to throw in a little bit extra here at the end. So not just the Sweet 16 props, a little bit extra. I want you to keep in mind that as we talk about this, money line rollovers are certainly an option as well. When you talk about Sweet 16 props, Elite 8 props, anything like that, you could just take the money line for the team, roll it over into extra rounds. I know not as many people do that. More people take the prop or the future. Sometimes the money line rollover is a better option. Actually, more than half the time, it's probably a better option, especially when it comes to conference tournament time. That was definitely the case. Futures, straight futures, I think that's usually the case. Sometimes on these Sweet 16 odds, I think you can get better odds with the futures price than you can, or with the prop than you can with the money line rollover. But try to project out the number, see which one you think would be a better way to go about it. Here in this one, for ease of use, we will talk about the props, since that's what most people use. Sweet 16 props here. I'm going to throw in a couple generals, like I said. Before I get to this real quickly, check out the daily college basketball free pick article that I do there for bangthebook.com. Try to help you become a more educated college basketball bettor. That's my goal, trying to help people make some money. This is a great time of the year as a college basketball fan and a college basketball bettor. So check out that article on a daily basis. Subscribe to Bang the Book on YouTube. Check out Bang the Book Radio. Adam Burke does a great job hosting that. Great guests every day. Lots going on at bangthebook.com. Check all of it out. Let's get right into this video. Sweet 16, who I think are some good odds to make the Sweet 16. I think a good way to go with this is to take some of the underdogs. I know some people like to take, minus 300, minus 400 on these Sweet 16 props. I hate to give that out in a video like this. I mean, I do think that it's possible that there's value. If there's value on a minus 300, go ahead and take it. But I don't want to just load up this video with minus 300s and then afterwards say, look how great I did with all these, because that's too easy to do. And that's not the goal of this. I'm trying to help you find value. Let's see if we can find some under the radar value here on Sweet 16 props. Oregon, plus 325 to reach the Sweet 16. I don't think Oregon could have had a better draw here. I mean, I know they're a 12 seed. You could argue maybe they should be a little bit better seed than a 12 seed. They get Wisconsin, a team who plays a similar style. It's going to be a very close game. This is a coin flip type game. Wisconsin, good defense. Oregon zone press could bother Wisconsin. I think this is a 50-50 game. Then you get to the second game. If Oregon wins that one, they would play Kansas State or UC Irvine. Obviously, UC Irvine's a good team for the Big West standards, but I think you'd have to give Oregon a pretty good chance in that one if UC Irvine pulls the upset. And Kansas State's not even close to itself, a shell of its former self without Dean Wade. And it sounds like Dean Wade's not going to play. Oregon State could definitely make the Sweet 16 here. Plus 325, too good of a price for me to pass up. Louisville, plus 450 to reach the Sweet 16. Talked about this yesterday. I don't think you want to take Louisville 150 to 1 to win the entire thing and plus 450 to reach the Sweet 16. You take one or the other. I think Louisville is a better team than what they've shown here recently. And I think that so many people keep in their mind that Duke game and their collapse in that game and then right after that game. So I think Chris Mack's a good coach. He's proven himself in the tournament in the past. I think Louisville's worth a chance here. Auburn plus 120 at bookmaker to reach the Sweet 16. Shop around here. I see some minus 105, some plus 100, plus 120 at bookmaker right now. I took this one here right before I did the video. I think Auburn definitely has a tricky matchup in the first round there against New Mexico State, but I think people might be discounting Auburn a little bit too much, thinking, they made one run in the SEC tournament. Auburn was a top 15 preseason team. This is a team that everybody expected to be very good. They underachieved. Now they're playing better basketball. I think Auburn's better than most of the other 5 seeds. So I like Auburn plus 120 here because they'd be favored in round 2 against Kansas as well. So you get plus 120. They have to beat New Mexico State, who's a tricky team, but they do play in a weak conference. So I think Auburn plus 120 is a good play here. And like I said, I found that one at Bookmaker. Villanova plus 220 to reach the Sweet 16. This is at Bet Online. Jay Wright, tremendous coach. They have lost a ton of talent, no doubt about that. And Villanova is no slam dunk to get to this point. Obviously, that's why they're plus 220. I do like Villanova's first matchup there against St. Mary's. I think St. Mary's may be a bit overvalued by some people based on their last game. St. Mary's really didn't have that great of a body of work this year. Villanova, the more consistent team. I like Randy Bennett, but I certainly like Jay Wright as well. I think Jay Wright has proven himself in the last few tournaments. Villanova plus 220. Look, Purdue's a very winnable game for them as well in the second game because Purdue's very reliant on Carson Edwards. Edwards has been a little bit banged up here of late, and that certainly would concern me as a Purdue fan, if you're a Purdue fan, that Carson Edwards does everything for this team. They don't really have that many good second or third options. I think Purdue is a vulnerable 3 seed there. So I like Villanova plus 220. This is one of them I like quite a bit as well. Plus 450 to reach the Elite Eight at Bet Online. Not a terrible option either. I mean, I think that Villanova certainly has the capability to do something like that, and their bracket is pretty wide open. Yale plus 1,200. So this is the huge underdog shot. I know Yale is unlikely to get to the Sweet 16, but if you look at their draw, LSU in a lot of turmoil. LSU, you never know what that's going to do for them. I know LSU is more talented than is Yale, and they will likely beat Yale. But I think plus 1,200 is a good enough price to take a small chance. This is a lunch money type play. You risk a small amount to get a pretty good payout. Yale plus 1,200. I think they're a good team. They have pretty good talent for an Ivy League program. 14 seed, a little bit too low for them, in my opinion. Not a bad second round matchup either. Maryland, bad away from home. Belmont, not high level talent at Belmont that's going to just outclass them. So I think Yale at least has a chance here, plus 1,200, a decent price there. One other I want to say here, this is kind of a general prop, 2 seed to reach, 2 seed to win the NCAA tournament. I apologize there. Plus 421. All the 2 seeds here are dangerous, right? I mean, which 2 seed do you think is not possible to win the NCAA tournament? I'd say Tennessee, probably the least likely to win of those. Rick Barnes has to prove it to me. You got Michigan, Michigan State, Kentucky, some very dangerous 2 seeds. Now, I don't think that, I would pick a 2 seed winning in my bracket. Duke's obviously the favorite for a reason, but plus 421 for a 2 seed to win this tournament. When you have 2 seeds as strong as these guys are, I think plus 421 is a good price here. You see plus 300, plus 350, some other prices, plus 421 at 5 dimes. So I like that price there on a 2 seed to win the NCAA tournament this year. So recap here real quick. Oregon plus 325 to reach the Sweet 16. I like their draw. Louisville plus 450 to reach the Sweet 16. Obviously it'd be an upset against Michigan State, but I give them a chance there. Auburn plus 120 at Bookmaker to reach the Sweet 16. Villanova plus 220 to reach the Sweet 16. Yale plus 1,200 is a small long shot there. So check out the daily picks article that I do there at bangthebook.com. Subscribe on YouTube. Give this video a thumbs up. Give the other videos on Bang the Books channel there a thumbs up. Support those videos. It makes it more likely to do more of these videos in the future. I wish everybody the best of luck here throughout the course of March Madness, and I will be back again next week with a couple more videos.